Donald Trump has distinguished himself in many ways. One of them is that he is our first pump and dump president. Hi, Paul Krugman here, a podcast today rather than a full on piece. I'm a little exhausted from number crunching over the weekend. I thought I'd talk briefly about the really extraordinary financial picture that we're seeing under the current administration. Obviously, no president has enriched himself from office the way that Trump has. That's common knowledge. One of the things that is really amazing about it, however, is the way in which he enriched himself, a lot of which has to do with crypto. So the New York Times had a report just the other day on Trumpcoin, the meme coin issued on Trump's behalf, which got a lot of buyers. A lot of money came flowing in. It should have been obvious from the beginning that the coin was inherently worthless. And at this point, it essentially is worthless. It has lost 97% of its value. But a lot of people did buy in at the high prices. What was special about the New York Times story was two things. First, they put a number on how much money naive investors have lost on the coin, which is $3.8 billion. And even more surprising is the number of people who were in effect suckers here, which is almost a million. That's really amazing. I didn't think, I mean, I was completely cynical, but I didn't think there were that many suckers out there. But it turns out there were really a lot. And so a few people made money off the coin, basically insiders who got to buy it early and then were able to cash in before the broader, that before the retail market realized that this was a worthless token. There's another token, the World Liberty Financial coin, which has also crashed, although the Times had difficulty in tracking down how many people have lost how much money. There's the Melania coin. Okay, all of this is amazing. As Trump would say, it's like nothing anybody's ever seen before. I think we should say, however, that this is a bigger story than just the Trump coin, and it's a bigger story than just Trump himself. What we're witnessing is, or has been, a really enormous pump and dump scheme, I would argue, involving more or less all of crypto. So if you don't know the background, Trump used to be highly critical of cryptocurrency, saying it was worthless and a scam, which was true. But then when it became clear that there was money in it for him, he reversed course. And during the 2024 election, the crypto interests contributed a lot of money to Trump. They then, after the election, poured a lot of money into his own enrichment, into his own projects. And the administration came in with a very pro-crypto stance. Uh, Deregulation, encouraging uses of crypto, at least talk about a national Bitcoin reserve, all of that. And the price of Bitcoin doubled after the election. The valuation, the market cap of cryptocurrency in general went from a little over 2 trillion to more than 4 trillion. And then starting last fall, it all came crashing down. Not all the way to zero. The price of Bitcoin right now, as I record this, is about what it was on the eve of the 2024 election. It's about half what it was at its peak. That's also true, roughly speaking, for the market cap. So we've seen about $2 trillion of market valuation wiped out. Why is this a pump and dump story? Well, what is cryptocurrency good for? And this, I've been on this for a long time. The Bitcoin was introduced in 2009. This is a 17-year-old idea, which has yet to find any legitimate use cases. Illegitimate use cases, yes. There was also a report in the Wall Street Journal about the extent to which Iran and North Korea have been making use of cryptocurrency to evade U.S. sanctions. So there is that, but still not enough to justify a multi-trillion-dollar asset class. But it was trendy, it was exciting, it was fashionable, and it was, particularly after November 2024, it was pushed with the encouragement of the Trump administration. It was just a heavy marketing campaign that had the advantage of also having the authority or whatever, the credibility, such as it was, but among some people, real, of Donald Trump behind it. Uh, they all evaporated. I think we can say that the to some extent, what happened was that Trump kind of moved on to other things. There also is some distracted boyfriend, the meme, guy looking over his shoulder. A lot of the excitable fear of missing out, latest thing money has probably moved from crypto to AI. So that might have happened even without Trump. But what is the basic story is that Trump sort of pushed people into a whole asset class, crypto, which a large part is Bitcoin, but other stuff as well. Um, we don't know how much, or I don't know how much crypto was bought during this period, but it has to be substantial. And then it crashed. And at this point, essentially anybody who bought crypto during this era of, during the since the 2024 election, has lost money. In some cases, a lot of money. And we know that on paper, I don't know, it's not really paper, but anyway, in principle, the $2 trillion has been lost in crypto. Now, a lot of that is probably money just giving back, imaginary gains that took place during the run up, but a substantial amount of additional money. People who did buy in during this whole episode. So this has to be many times the size of the losses on the Trump coin. And it is, I would say, in a functional level, it is another pump and dump scheme. In this case, the beneficiaries were uh, uh, people who were already in crypto. Clearly, I mean, some of the crypto interests that bought themselves a president probably stayed fully invested, but others must have cashed out. And a lot of innocent, well, a lot of suckers. Let's not be mince words here. A lot of suckers clearly lost a lot of money. That's an extraordinary thing. There have been pump and dump schemes forever, probably going back to the Phoenicians or something, but this is on a scale we've never seen, and with the president of the United States in the center of it, which I guess, given everything else, comes as no surprise. Happy 250th birthday, America.